Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Sneha. I am the Vice President of Clinical Services for Primus. I would like to welcome you to the very first webinar of the supplement series. Before I go with the topic, I would like to thank all of you for taking time today to join us. And I hope by the end of this session, you will be able to answer questions about supplement and know why you're taking them and why it is needed. Before I begin, I'd like to tell you a small incident that happened to me when I was practicing as a general physician. So when I used to see a lot of patients coming for diabetes, hypertension. So one such elderly gentleman was admitted in my ward. And when I went to take a history, I asked him what medications you are taking. And then he took out at least 10 bottles in front of him. And then he told me one medicine is for my bones. It makes me stronger. Then one is for my memory. Then one is for giving me energy. One is for helping me with my gastric issues. Then one was for helping fatigue, immunity. It went on. The list was like, I had 10 medicines in front of him. Then I asked him, which among this was prescribed by your doctor? And he said, none. I'm pretty sure most of you would have experienced this or heard about this from someone that if you take this medicine, you'll feel much better. It'll help in controlling your sugar. So you should try this. Then there are YouTube influencers, Instagram reels that tell you if you take this, it definitely helps you stronger. It helps you build your muscles. Especially people who go to the gym, they will tell you take protein powders, take these protein biscuits, and so on and so forth. So before I go forward, I'd like to know how many of you are taking supplements. I would love it if you can put it in your chat if you're taking, and how many if you know. And the answer can be yes, I'm taking, no, I'm not taking, or maybe. The reason is some of you might not know the difference between supplement or medicine. So if anybody is taking, can go and put on the chat. At the end of the session, we'll look at it. And I hope by the end of the session, the people who said maybe know what is a supplement and what is not a supplement. Okay. Meanwhile, this happens, I will just share my screen. Please tell me if you're able to see it. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Yes, thank you so much. So you see, when I told you about that patient of mine, what I was trying to tell you is there are a lot of people in life, even including my mother, who take supplements and tells they're very important for me. I told my aunt is taking this, my uncle is taking this, and they told me, I vouch for it. You take this, your sugar will definitely get in control, then you might not require medications. Then I've heard stories that if you take certain supplements, cancer can be prevented or even cancer can be cured. So when I listened to all this, I thought, okay, maybe it's time to come out what a supplement is and what it really does. Now, while I see many of you telling that you do take these medications, these supplements, you need to know what the differences are. So we just did a warm-up poll. The reality between supplements and medications you have to know is that supplements are very easy to access. They give a lot of benefits. It's available in every pharmacy, does not require prescription. It is not regulated. And sometimes most of the claims are misleading. So just to bust those and for you to make an informed and better decision in future, whether it is really required for you, whether you need to take it, whether you need to avoid it, or how much should you take it, in which form you should take it. I hope by the end of this series, you will be able to answer that. So like I said, there's a difference between food, medicine, and supplements. So just to make things easy and for you to understand, I would like you to picture a meal when you go for any South Indian wedding, or not just South Indian, any wedding if you go, there's a main course, right? There's rice, there's sambar, dal, rasam. That is your main course. Everything that is in the side, your vegetables, your fruits, your salads, all of them add value to that meal. Now, there is one component on that leaf which is not required but can be added to your meal. That is like your achar and papad, right? They add more flavor to your meal. but they are not the main course. You cannot eat just achar and papad, right? So that's how supplement is. Food is your main course. Supplement is just an added dish that you take. Now, medicine is something that you take only when you have a disease or a symptom and you need to be cured from it. So if I go on, what is a supplement? Supplement, like I told you, is just an addition to your food. And normally, supplements are given only to people whose food requirements are not met. It could be easily because they are having some malabsorption problems, they're not eating well, or the balance of food is not right. Keeping all this in mind, we add supplements to the clients who come to us, to the patients who come to us. So we tell them you can take this as a support system, not a substitute for your food. It's not going to substitute what you're normally eating. Okay. Now, having said this, I've heard at the minute I tell all this, I've heard a lot of people ask me, if that's the case, then what about the people who go to space? They're taking only capsules, aren't they supplements? Now you have to remember the supplements that the capsules that the people take to with them to the space are formulated such that it contains everything a balanced meal has. But the ones that we get in the open market are only added, or they have only one element or a few vitamins in them. So there's a lot of difference between what the space people take with them and what are available in our general market. It will only help support your health. It will not cure your diseases. It'll help you to get better, to make your immunity better, to fight diseases better, but it cannot directly make a change on your disease. Now, they come in different forms. So they come as tablets, powders, gummies, liquids. Now, when it comes to this, you have to understand there are different types and forms available in the market. But which do I take? Why should I take them? Now, we give this based on the client or the patient who comes to us, right? So if you go to certain doctors, they like to give powders because powders are easier to consume. You can mix it with milk, you can add it with water, and you can take it. And they come in different flavors. They have different kind of elements in them. Then there is liquid form. Liquids are usually given for children or people, for elderly people who cannot swallow, which makes it easy for them to take it, and portion control is easy with them. Then there is gummies. Gummies are again like jelly-like substance, which is a little bit on the sweeter side, easier to swallow. And then there's capsules or tablets which can be taken. I am sure over the years, at some point of our life, we've all taken some kind of supplements. And the reason behind this is very simple. It's because we are not having a balanced diet, right? Especially in this kind of stage in which we are growing, where food is being grown in with a lot of pesticides, or it is the soil is depleted, the food is not fresh, or we are not having enough time to eat the food, or we are not taking a balanced meal. So people like me, or including my father-in-law, he does not like certain vegetables and he will avoid them at any cost. So they will, even my father would say, you don't have to give me, I don't want to have bindi, I don't want to have loki. So the very picky eaters. So such people, we have to add those supplements in a different manner. So that's where we bring supplements into the picture. They can be taken in different forms, but each form also comes with a headache, right? Now, capsule, when you take it, it takes longer time to digest. It will not happen immediately. It will take some time for it to melt. The capsule has to melt, and slowly it comes into your gut system and it is absorbed. Whereas powders, they're easily absorbed because they're only mixed with water. So it's easier to absorb and easier to take. Now, gummies, as though they are beautiful to taste and yummy to take, they have one small problem, that it could have added sugar, which means it may be something that diabetes might want to avoid, or you have to be very clear with the label. Look at what it contains before you take it. Then there is a liquid form. Now, in liquid, this absorption is very quick, but you need to make sure the dosage is correct. Most of us use those cups or those measurement bottles. They're given with the bottle, right? You have to use them, but the problem lies with the container that you use to measure. It has to be clean, sterilized, and taken properly. Otherwise, it could be a source of infection itself. Now, why do we need these supplements as we grow older? And is it a fact that we need it only when we are old? Do we need it as young children? If you have any idea about it, you can put it in the chat. If you think only elders need it, or only growing older people need it, or the ones who are working need it, or is it for everyone? Maybe you could just share your thoughts on that in the chat, so that I'd like to know where you fall in this supplement category. As you're doing that, and I'll read out the comments at the end, I'd like you to know that supplements is not only for elders or for youngsters, it is for everyone. But it is not given to everyone until and unless we look if they have some dependency, if they have some nutritional deficiency, or they have some disease like malabsorption syndrome, your UB head. So different kind of conditions which will cause them not to have enough of the nutrients from the food. It could also mean unavailability of certain minerals or salts in their areas. So when I tell you about this, for example, I'll tell you, you would have heard that as you go towards hilly regions, you'll find that a lot of children, a lot of people develop thyroid conditions. Initially, it was thought maybe it was just something that they got because of they're living at high altitudes, and people around there just have it in their genes. But later, when they did the studies, they were able to identify that they were not having enough of access to iodine-rich food. So that is why they were developing thyroid conditions. The minute they were supplemented with something called iodine, they were able to get better, right? So that is why if you see the salt is now iodized. The reason behind all this was because they found that these deficiencies could be easily treated and supplemented if you're not taking it enough. So that's why when you go to the market, if you look to buy a salt packet, you'll see it is written iodized salt. So if you take them, that your necessity of iodine is covered there. But having said that, do we all need it? Yes, we do need it at a certain age. Because after some time, your systems, whether it's your cardiac system, that is your heart, whether it's your gut, whether it is your kidney, whether it's your liver, all of it is function for a certain period. Especially at this generation, it is working overtime because we are in a lot of stress, we are doing a lot of work, we're not doing enough of workouts, we're not having enough physical activities, we are eating a lot of junk food, the number of hours we sleep is reduced. So basically, we are putting our body into a lot of stress and strain, which means it needs more than what is actually being taken, right? So what we have to do is we have to take them as a supplement. But that does not mean that it cannot be completed in your diet itself. Do I really need to take a tablet or an extra something for it? Not necessary. If you can adjust your diet and make sure that every aspect of your nutrients is covered in that, then definitely you can avoid your supplements. Now, the most common supplements that you would hear out there, I'm sure most of you, if you want, you can go and check. At least 90 to 95% of the population would be taking some form of calcium, vitamin B12. This is because when you test, I can tell you, even among, I think around 200 odd people are here in this conversation today. If all of you go test, I can give you in writing that at least 95% of you will have at least one of the deficiencies, either vitamin D or B complex. The reason being, in olden days, we spent a lot of time outside in the outdoors where we got the vitamin D directly from the sun, right? Now, most of us are conked up in our AC rooms. We're scared to go out in the sun. I wouldn't blame you. There are a lot of other difficulties when you go out in the sun. There, because of the changing weather, there's a chance of getting a heat stroke. Keeping all that in mind, it is better to take a supplement, and it's easier. And especially for people who are working, or who do not have who are living in apartments without natural sunlight coming into their rooms, because there are a lot of buildings close by, right? Especially in a place like Bangalore, the houses are so close to each other that hardly any sunlight or air is getting into our rooms these days. And we keep the windows also shut because we do not want the dust coming in. There's a lot of pollution to keep the noise out. So what we do is we close the windows, we close the doors, we keep ourselves safe. We want not a very safe environment to leave the doors open. But this was not the situation years and generations ago, right? So that's why we need to make sure supplements are taken when we grow a little bit older, if we are not compensating them with our nutrition. The five most common ones are calcium and vitamin B12, iron. Most of you take multivitamin tablets, and glucosamine, or you can take turmeric. Now, these are the most common ones you would have heard of. There are a lot more when it comes to supplements, but I'm just talking about these five now. Before I go to any of this, I would like to know if you know which supplements you're taking. Have you ever read the labels, what it contains, why you're taking them? Do you have any knowledge about that? Have you looked at your medications? If you have, then there are certain things that you need to know, as which is myth and which is fact. I would like to clarify a few of them. I've just put three up here, but if you know anything that you want to clarify, you can put it on the chat and I will definitely answer to that. Like I said, your supplement is just an added factor. It is not it's not a substitute for your main course food. It will only add value. It will not remove a disease, but it can definitely make you feel better and prepare your body to fight the disease better. So which means you cannot skip meals if you're taking a multivitamin tablet. The next question is about herbal pills. Are they safe? Yes, most of the time herbal pills are safe, but if taken from a registered Ayurvedic practitioner or from a reputed brand. Because if you don't take them, I'll just tell you about an incident that I know I have personally experienced. I had one person come into the emergency room with vomiting and stomach pain. Now, this person, I do know her from before. She was non diabetic, she's not hypertensive, but she was borderline. She was told that she's borderline diabetic. She needs to be a little careful, otherwise, she might get a full blown diabetic disease. So she went back and I told her, you just follow a little bit of diet control, do a little bit of physical activities, and then we will take it from there. After a few days, she came back with vomiting and abdominal pain. I tried to figure out, we did all sorts of tests, okay? Blood tests, scanning, colonoscopy, endoscopy. We even went into the CT scan and MRI because she had intractable pain and it went on for 3 to 4 days, which did not respond very well to our painkillers and antacids. So when I looked what was going on, I tried to figure out. I looked at her medications, I asked her history, and after a long time, we came out that she was taking a supplement from a very reputed brand, very well marketed. And then when I asked her why she was taking, she said, I was trying to lose my weight. I was told if I take this, I will lose my weight and my sugar will get under control. So when we got the fact that she was taking something, we knew what to look for. So when we looked for it, we realized that she was having heavy metal poisoning. Now, this is what happens when you take herbal pills or herbal tablets which are not curated well or not from reputed brand or not. It is always better to consult with your doctor before taking them, because one pill may not suit everybody. So what works for me may not work for you. What works for my mother may not work for my father. So each person needs to get tested, needs to make sure that is what they need for their body and then take it. So for her, we had to go back and then do chelation. We had to give her a little bit of dialysis. But after a few days, she was completely all right. The pain was gone. The vomiting stopped. And we were lucky that she came in at the time she came, because if she had come a little later, she would have developed bleeding either from the gut or from the mouth. And it could lead to a lot more dangers than she anticipated. She told me that her sister had been taking it without any side effects for the past 5 years. So, like I said, each person is different, and each kind of medicine that you take needs to be tailor made to you. So, it is better to get tested, know what it contains, whether you require it, and in what quantity you should take. Now, for example, calcium. Now, we do know that calcium is very important for us, and it will make us bones stronger. It is very especially true for elders, because as we grow older, our bones are becoming weak. Now, when you do not eat well or you do not have enough of calcium supplemented in your food, what happens? Calcium has to be taken from somewhere. Now, our heart needs muscles to work, and the muscles need calcium to work. So, what do? They start taking it from a source that is already readily available in the body. That is your bones. that is when your bones start becoming weaker. And then there's an added factor of hormone control. When the hormones, as you grow a little older, whether it is women, see, there's a misconception that only women undergo menopause. Even men undergo a little bit of symptoms of menopause, which means they also undergo some sort of hormonal changes. Now, when these hormonal changes occur, there's going to be a little difference in how your vitamins are being absorbed, how your calciums and other minerals are being used in your body. So you need to be a little careful on this. And when what type of supplement you take should be made sure that it's easily absorbed by you. And even your genetics plays a very important role in which vitamins can be absorbed by you. Now, for example, if I say calcium comes in different formats, iron comes in different formats, like you will have ferrous sulfate, ferrous fumarate, there are different combinations out there, but not all of them work for you. So you need to make sure you take the right kind of supplement which works for you. How will you know the supplement is working for you? Very simple. If you're having, you'll feel a little better, stronger. But if you're not having any condition and you're taking it, it will not help at all. You have to remember any kind of added substance that you take, either in the form of pills, capsules, or powder, has to go through your liver. Your liver acts like your like filter. Okay, it takes out everything that is toxic, then throws it into the kidney and tells throw it out of the body. Which means when you put anything extra into your body, it has to pass through the system. When this happens, your liver is getting strained unnecessarily. It is overworking and it can cause a lot of damage. It's affecting your liver. Then, when it goes to kidney, over time, when you're giving it added work to remove huge molecules from your body, even kidney starts getting affected. You have to drink lots of water to maintain it. There's a lot of things that go hand in glove. So, unless you really require it and your doctor is prescribing to you these medicines, I would certainly avoid them. I have been getting a few comments. क्रोसिन ले लेता हूँ, प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं. Okay. Yes, crocin is not a supplement. Again, I think I forgot to tell you what is the difference between a supplement and a medicine. Like I told very clearly, medicine is for some symptom or disease and it helps to treat them. But what I'm talking about in terms of supplement is just an added nutrient. It may be not necessary. You can take it in little quantity, but most of it comes from your food. Ideally, it is better to take it from your food. With this, I'll end my session and leave it to them for question answers.
Hi, Snehalata ma'am. That was actually fantastic. A very well cumulated presentation, actually. So the doors are open, the chat box is open. You can just ask the questions you want to ask, and Sneha ma'am will love to answer you all. And yes, we will be having one more session by Marzi very soon. So we will be updating you. Please do inform your friends, family, and all your WhatsApp groups so that they can also get the privilege of meeting them and asking them the questions. So Suresh sir asked and you gave the answer. Next is, at what age do men have symptoms like menopause?
Very now I can talk in lens for this, but typically we've seen from the kind of people that we've been meeting, typically at the age of 45 to 50 is when they start undergoing this kind of changes.
Okay, good. Doctor, if we take necessary nutrients, nutrient foods, we don't need to take supplements, right? Or we do have to take? Shilpi ma'am is asking
Hello?
if, yeah, there's a network issue. Yeah. Hi, doctor. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, there's a network issue.
Sorry, I think I lost you there. So
Yeah.
the question is about whether we can avoid them if we are taking them in nutrients. Like I said, even if you're taking nutritious food, as you grow older, your system is going to not absorb 100% of it, and there is no way of knowing how much of it is being absorbed. So definitely consult with your doctors. They will do the necessary tests and tell you if what you're taking is adequate or not, or if you need to have supplements.
Perfect. Taking calcium prescribed by doctor. Okay, so she's already taking it. Vitamin D is always deficient. Any suggestion, doctor?
Ideally, I would say go out in the sun a little more. But having said that, if it's not possible due to many reasons, it could be I do not get to go outside or whatever reason for that matter, you could definitely take vitamin D sachets once a week. But again, I wouldn't be the right person to prescribe at this forum. Like I said, everybody's needs are different. Please meet your doctor, and they will definitely tailor make it to you.
We will be sharing their numbers very soon, everyone, so that if you have any direct issues or else if there's any symptoms, you can directly consult them and you can talk to them and they will surely answer you. Moving on next, how long can we take Supracal 2000?
Okay. Again, Supracal is a calcium supplement. Like I told you, or if you go on to listen to the next few series that we have lined up, you will get to know how much you need to take and how much you shouldn't take. And even supplements, just to clarify to everyone out there is a certain way in which you have to take these supplements. There are certain supplements that you have to take with food. There are certain supplements you have to take without food or an empty stomach. And there is a number of days you have to take. There's a breaking period between the supplements. There's a lot that goes into this. So I would ideally not be taking any vitamins without taking consultation. And for questions about whether do I do consultations, yes, we do offer consultations at Marzi. You can definitely reach out to our help desk, and we will definitely be happy to help you with such consultations.
Amazing. We have got 2 or 3 questions via mail. Are there any supplements that can help improve memory or cognitive function in seniors?
Okay. Now, the so-called memory pills or the so-called nervous tablets actually are again combinations of B complex and other vitamins, which actually help your nerves to regenerate better. Okay, but if you already have a memory problem, I'm really sorry. It's not something that can be treated or taken made better. But definitely, what we could do is exercise your memory, and there are a lot of solutions. Please reach out to us. We are more than happy to help you with that. But like I see, we're running out of time and there are a lot of questions flowing in. Uh, since we have just 2 minutes, I'd like to tell you that you can reach out to Marzi at any point, and we would be very happy to give you answer any of your questions. And we cater not just to supplements, or we're not endorsing any supplements per se. We will not be giving you recommendations. We will definitely tell you how to go about it and how to do it. We are like we've already told you before that Marzi is catering to all elders. We are looking at all types of your aspects of your health, whether it's your mental health, social health, your physical health. So please reach out to us. And those questions who did not get answered here, I would definitely write the answers to them and share it with the host so that they can provide it to you. Hope that makes sense.
Actually, so I'm just sending a link in the chat box. Just click on that link and you will be directly redirecting to the WhatsApp. You can directly chat with them. You can call them. So there's a link in the chat box. Just click it now itself, and yes, you can do it. A last question, Sneha ma'am, for the day we end up. So, what will help us seniors if constipation is a problem, and what can we do to increase low B12 levels?
Okay, constipation mainly occurs for two reasons in elderlies. Okay, one is either your fiber content is very low, okay, or two, you're not drinking enough water, because these are the main factors which move the food along your gut. The third reason is if you have some underlying gut issues which are causing them not to move. And even your calcium deficiency, something as small as calcium deficiency can cause your gut to slow down. So we need to figure out what is causing your constipation and then help you with that.
Amazing. The best part to host all these kind of sessions is before I reach senior citizen, I am getting all the knowledge actually now itself. So that's actually lovely. Thanks to Marzi for being a part of Seniors Today and Evergreen Club. And everyone, soon we will be doing a session. And yes, there's a link in the chat box. Just click it and save in the name of Marzi. You can actually contact them anytime, obviously between the office hours, but yes, they will be surely answering you for everything. Thanks a lot, Dr. Sneha, and thanks a lot, Marzi, everyone. Thank you.